everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Acadiana Cane Cutter Coaches Show presented by Walk-Ons. I'm Zac Berger, once again joined by the manager Darien Dukes. Coach, let's get right into it. First half done, second half right around the corner. I know coming into the season, you said goal win first half, right? So
Yeah.
obviously, second place finish. Kind of looking back, though, 12-11, streaky first half. What are kind of your initial reactions to how that first half went?
Well, I've been upset with the we're not able to close games. I think we 5 or 6 games we've lost in the seventh inning or later. We've blown 4 saves, so you just win 2 of them or 3 of them, and it's a whole different first half. But we've got to do a better job of closing out baseball games in the second half. And also, we got to do a better job of hitting with runners on base.
For sure. Now, listen, you've been doing it for a while, so I don't think much maybe surprises you as much anymore. But looking back on this first half, kind of more of in a positive light, has there been anything with this year's ball club that has kind of shocked you, almost kind of in preparation for this second half?
Yes. Our pitcher's getting better. I was real worried right at first. And, we've gotten better every outing. Every one of them has gotten better every outing. Even though he's leaving us, I was super surprised that Dylan Biddick kept it up at the first half. He hit, I think, 420 or something like that, and it wasn't 420 with a bunch of infield singles and stuff like that. I mean, it was a legit 420, and we're going to miss him the second half, but we'll find somebody that comes in and takes his place. But our pitching staff, we need to get on an even keel. They surprise you one night, and it's just like baseball. It'll break your heart the next.
Absolutely. Now, I just kind of want to pick your brain about this because obviously, you've been the head coach for a couple of years now. TCL is so interesting to me in the sense that, it's not about overall record. It's about first half and second half, right? So as the manager of a ball club, what's kind of the mindset and, where do you pick and choose from in the sense of, okay, first half is over, it's all about second half now, or, hey, we need to pull from the first half, and take what we learned to get to that second half, or is it just a fresh wipe for you and your guys?
It's kind of a little bit all of the above. I mean, you got to take what you did good in the first half, and you got to make sure it carries on over into the second half, and then you've got to get rid of the stuff you didn't do good in the first half, like closing out ball games and stuff like that. And you've got to be able to fix it. And you got, as a manager, you got to figure out a way to do it. And with the movement of players and stuff, it'll be a different clubhouse that you got to mix and match and get everybody to mesh again. And that'll be a little bit easier now that we're doing a little more travel. We have been fortunate the first half to have a lot of home games, and second half we're on the road a little bit more. So you just got to take a little bit of both and mesh them together.
Now, you talked about kind of that new clubhouse feel, and obviously Dylan Biddick leaving, a couple other guys leaving. Is there kind of anyone for the Cane Cutter fans that you're kind of telling them to keep an eye out on in this second half? Whether it's a guy who is just getting hot, a brand new face we're going to see. Is there maybe a guy that Cane Cutter fans should, hey, watch the whole team, but maybe keep an eye out on that certain guy?
Yeah, you got a couple of them. Naturally, an old veteran, Trevor Dirk. I look for him to have a great second half. John Montalbano Jr., Parker Gwynn is coming in. He's a guy here from last year, and he's already had an impact here. Jake LaRocca was here last year. He's back. All those guys, we're looking to we're looking for them to have big second halves, and I personally think Christian Hallmark and Isaiah are going to have big second halves.
For sure. Now, you already kind of hit on it, but like you said, it's going to be a heavy away schedule, right? Goal really beat out those Gumbo Gators to make the playoffs, and it starts here tonight. Well,
definitely,
definitely,
definitely.
yeah. What's it going to take? You've already mentioned it, just to really start strong in this second half to make sure July just takes off.
Well, everybody in baseball knows it's going to be pitching, and I've harped on it before in this interview that we have got to close out games, and we've done some stuff here in the last couple of weeks that I think JT is going to move into that later game role, and we saw a little bit of it the other night, him and Isaiah, and it was unfortunate the way the game was went. We did not turn a double play, which would have won the ball game, and that seems to be kind of the thing that's happened. It's never been one of those games where they just get just rip into our closer or our setup guy. It's just been a series of misfortunes. In that ball game against the Rigaroo where we blew that save, you had infield single and 3 broke back singles that just and then we didn't turn the double play, and so with them two going into the late inning games, I don't know which one's going to be seventh or eighth. Coach Mancuso will figure that out, but we're going to do something to change that.
Absolutely, but like you said, it's baseball,
It's
and it's going to be a good one. So
yeah, baseball will break your heart one day and make you happy the next.
absolutely, absolutely. Well, closing games, returning stars, and a great month of baseball
Oh
coming
yeah,
up.
come out and see us.
Yes, sir, Coach. We wish you the best of luck in July and here tonight against the Gumbo Gators. And that's all we got for episode 3. Go Cutters.
Go Cutters.